Scleropagus. The genus of the old Asian bony tongue. 1 second. Bony tongue. That's familiar. Are the moon eye fish bony tongue too? The moon eye is. There are many species of bony tongues, but only one of them, the moon eye, lives in North America. They are the ray-finned version of whatever class this fish is in. This is completely useless. I need to move on. Sturgeon are ray-finned fish too. They're not bony tongue though. There's a green arowana, scripted arowana, inscriptus arowana, the Giardini, that's an aggressive one. These are highly sought after for aquariums. Super blood Indonesian arowana, there's one of those too. Super blood Indonesian arowana. They're the ones that look like that. That might be the paint job. Whoa, that picture was grainy. Let's find a better one. That guy's holding it like a football. They look like that. Anyway, so normally the ones from Asia are the only ones that people seek to put in aquariums and stuff. I think there's some from Australia too. This is an Asian fish. This is an Asian bony tongue fish. The ones from Australia diverged from Asia 140 million years ago. Fossil records and blah 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 blah. Just freshwater fish these are. It's crazy because there's an Arapaima too, and this fish is from South America. But it is the same family. There's only a difference of a subfamily genealogically to this arowana fish from the Arapaima. But the Arapaima can reach lengths of 3 meters, almost 10 feet. And the arowana can get up to 35 inches, 3 feet. So these arowana are like little mini versions of the Arapaima, but prettier, and you can keep them in an aquarium. Probably still do a number on you though, if it was just you and an Arapaima in a bathtub, and it was mad at you. They have elongated pectoral fins. The mouth is oblique with a very wide gap. Sticking out lower jaw, 2 barbels on the tip. That's good to know. I wasn't even gonna carve that. That's good to know. And the gill rakers are stout. The gill rakers are stout. This fish's mouth is just filled on every possible surface that there is bone in its mouth, filled with teeth, apparently. The jaws, the vomer, platelets, pterygoids, the parasphenoid, and the tongue. Those are all the examples it gives. Parasphenoid. A mosaic pattern. Oh, don't you dare. But if you zoom into a scale, there's a mosaic pattern of raised ribs. That's particularly hard to carve. That's just like a nyeh in the face of a wood carver. It's like, try to carve that. The pattern's raised, not carved in. On every single tiny little scale. Big scale, sorry. Once they're about 3 or 4 years of age, the females can produce eggs, which are like 30 to 100 at a time, but they're kind of big. Less spray and pray with this fish than normal fish. It's more bigger eggs, a more meaningful process, and a more valued fish in the end that can take care of itself real well. They're predators. These things can jump out of the water 6 feet. And they exhibit great parental care to their young. Parental mouth brooding, oral incubation. They hold the offspring in their mouth for extended periods of time to protect them. I don't know if it provides warmth or whatever. I'm not going to get into that article. This is not fun facts on mouth. Let's look at mouth brooding actually. The Darwin frog does this as well. There's frogs that do this, and they've seen it in several different species of fish apparently. Some species of fish have evolved to exploit the mouth brooding process. Oh no, a parasitic behavior. The cuckoo catfish is exactly one of those. The cuckoo, cuckoo. C-U-C-K-O-O. I said cuckoo, but I was wrong. It's an even crazier word. The cuckoo catfish does this. Combines mouth brooding with the behavior of a blood parasite. It eats the host mouth brooder's eggs while it's in their mouth, while spawning and simultaneously laying its own eggs in that fish's mouth. And then that fish, with all of that going on in its mouth, incubates the cuckoo catfish's young. They hatch in its mouth. Earlier than the chichlid's eggs, they're using a chichlid's as the example of the fish with all of this going on in its mouth. And then those cuckoo catfish eggs that just hatched will eat the chichlid eggs that haven't hatched yet. It's all set up so they do it faster. I don't think it's possible to be any more taken advantage of. All right, I'm gonna exit out of the mouth brooder. So there'll be like 100 eggs in their mouth sometimes, and they're just incubating and waiting for them to hatch, and they will hatch, and they'll keep the hatched youngs in their mouth for even longer and stuff. They might even take several trips outside of their mouth and come back in just to investigate the surroundings and get used to the world. The rest of the stuff's aquarium stuff. How many gallons of water you need to support a 3.5-foot fish. If you want one in an aquarium, you're looking at $1,500 probably. That's more than a Roman-made mother chaser. There are albino species that have sold for $70,000. I need to get a bunch of arowanas and some bleach. And he just made $68,496. So you can specifically fish for this fish as well. They are in the wild, they're not just in aquariums, if you didn't know. It's a big bony tongue dinosaur still, so they do good out there. Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, Malaysia. And you could put silver arowana in a pond and they'll be fine. That's good to know as well. Can you imagine? I think Bama Bass needs to fill that 5-acre pond up with silver arowana. You're jumping 6 feet out of the water before your bait hits the water. Days later. Fun facts are definitely over. Due to the nature of this video, we're just gonna do fun comments now. Probably have this rolling throughout the rest of the video. These are all comments from the last video, by the way. Keep it up to date and relative. Timestamp 1627. Sorcery, witchcraft. The balance. I know, I got so lucky. I wasn't going off of anything specific. I was just really putting the amount of drops of lead I thought each piece needed in it. I was right. I sold that bait yesterday for $1,000. People buy well-balanced baits, it's a thing. If you can prove that it's like super good action, it's gone. People buy it. Digging the rattle. I guess I can talk a little bit about the bait we're building right now, if it relates to the comments we're reading. And this one says, I'm digging the rattle. And in this bait, that spring I put in it, I'm digging that rattle in the arowana. When the balls come back to the spring, you can kind of hear them do more than just one hit on each other. It's like a it's pretty cool. And then I fixed a ball at the front so it snaps, and so it's like. I'm done, sorry. Look at that. I got the chance to hide a scammer from the channel. Did that on video. Eat that, scammer. Go ahead and make a new one. I'll hide it too, just never-ending cycle. Yeah, everybody was saying that warmouth is a megafishal even though it didn't catch a fish. That's not a thing. Nothing can be a megafishal if it does not catch a fish. The best that warmouth swim bait could do is be fishal. How much money do I have to send to win a free lure? $1,000. But I don't have any free lures available right now. Panfish with big knockers. That comment is almost pinnable. Can't even imagine what those fish in the tank test must be thinking. They love every lure I put in there. Looks like you took what you learned from chopping up the mother chaser and are applying that to your new stuff. I don't know why their cavities are all filled with resin, you know? And so even, and there's pen holes, probably for the CNC machine on that beautiful handmade bait. It's right there. That's what I was looking at. But yeah, just internal weight and stuff. 2 halves and doing stuff to the 2 halves. I know what you mean. The action on that bad boy is wild. Good work, bro. No! I was so close. There's a lot of instances of people like asking for a narwhal day 3-ish, and they keep track of the days that they ask me to make something. Like Cave Cricket day 382, Nessie SwimBait day 425, you know? It's getting pretty crazy. You live in Iowa, question mark? Where? Where do you live in Iowa? Here's somebody asking me about making fish replicas, not just lures. I shouldn't say just, kind of insulting to lure making. But fish replicas, all about realism, you know? Yeah, there's a strong possibility this winter that could happen. Are you gonna list this one on your website for $1,700 too? Question mark? I think that is a passive aggressive question. If it's not, it's probably funny that I'm taking it that way to you. You need to calm down. I'm worth it. I'm worth it. Just because of that comment, I'm probably gonna list this Arowana SwimBait on my website for $1,700. Ha. On the big catfish swim bait video, somebody said, okay, but what are you gonna catch with this thing? 2 bass in the following video, that's what I caught. Somebody just said that they love my Facebook page, but I don't have a Facebook. Somehow I have impression that 95% of your catch are bass fish. Are these fish too much hungry? Or are they too much overpopulated all ponds and rivers in USA? 3 question marks. Somebody thinks that my catches are not legit. Doesn't even give me an out. Either they're too much hungry or they're too much overpopulated all over ponds and rivers in USA. If you build it, they will bite. The stop pre-poster. Through the cutting rope right there, the stop pre-poster. Did you run the 800 meter? Most brutal of all track and field events. It's not a run, but not a sprint. A sprun. It's a sprun. Solid dad joke. Yeah, I ran it for 4 years. I ran that one. 2:03. I never got under 2 minutes. I tried real hard to get under 2 minutes. I never got under 2. Why do you only do 1 video per week? I'm trying to change that. That's why this video is parted. This is part 1 of the Arowana. And I'm just gonna keep blasting them out. How did you get the truck sticker of your logo? I ordered them off of Sticker Mule. As of right now, nothing like that's for sale, but there could be a legion of people wielding Marling baits decals on the back of their vehicles, or the front if that's the way they roll. Those need to be mass produced. I like how they're big. The logo's kind of thin and dainty, you know, but it can be big and it doesn't look like it's something too crazy. I need to figure out a third-party thing where people can order those. This is like 1 foot by 8 inches or something, whatever the widescreen 16:9 ratio is. And big. If you can mass produce those and take care of all business logistics when it comes to that and ship them and stuff, and just give me my cut, let me know. That'd be great. I just want 10% or something. It doesn't need to be crazy. I take care of my business dealings on video in the YouTube videos. It's the best way to do it. Full transparency. I'm pretty new to the channel, but I notice you call yourself Marlin Baits and you haven't made a Marlin lure. What gives? G is the most elusive letter in the alphabet for some reason. There's a high percentage of the population of this world that is unable to see the G on the end of my name. Would you like to see a large container of super glue? I have intentions of using this entire bottle for one thing, and like a pound of baking soda. I think I'm actually gonna wear eye protection, maybe a respirator too. There's gonna be some fumes. The fumes that bait makers run off of are going to be geysering in that video. Wow, those scales though. They're uneven, but every scale is located in the correct spot. And the body has such a funky shape that shape is doing stuff to the scales too. And I wanted to lay them out like that's a thing. You know what I mean? It became a thing and it looks good. There's so much more to do. I haven't even cut into that side. So what we're gonna do is end this video with a ton of carving. I'm gonna give you a preemptive on to the next bait. Now let's get to work. Look at that. Randomly, I have this bait to test. I just made it off video and it's finished and I need to test it. Apologies. The angle of the sun and the water was all wavy and windy out there. That was literally the best action footage I got of this thing. Sorry. Really good hunter. You could kind of see it in that footage. It was doing the hunting. This thing does it real well with a lot of line out. I don't even want to sell this one. Okay. Now we can finish the video with carving. It's all about the angle the tip's going in. And I'm not just making a joke, it really is. Man.